Welcome to the Fitchburg Cultural Council's monthly meeting. This is the February meeting. It is Tuesday, February 21st, and we're calling the meeting to order at 4:35 p.m. Welcome to the Fitchburg Cultural Council. The Cultural Council is a group of volunteers put in place by the Mayor of Fitchburg, and our specific work is granting out the funds that come from the Massachusetts Cultural Council. And the Massachusetts Cultural Council is our mothership out of Boston, and we're really happy to be here today. We welcome the public. A quick few notes for the public. Everything here is being recorded for the future, and so anything we say is part of public record. And so certainly if we speak about anything, it should pertain to the agenda that we have today. And we do have a member of the public with us today, and we're so excited. So we'd like, Suzanne, if you'd like to step up to the mic and say hi and introduce yourself. And if you'd like to speak on the agenda items, let me know.
Okay. Hi, my name is Suzanne Hauerstein. I live in Leominster, and I have been a teaching artist and a visual artist for 30 years, and I'm excited to find out more about the Cultural Council and learn more about everyone and what you guys do. Thanks for having me today.
Thanks for coming by. Thanks for sitting in.
Yeah, thank you.
We're very excited to have you. So on the topic, the first agenda item that we have today is this is just a reminder that we are looking for new members. So those of us that are in the community, if we're doing business in the community or we know certain organizations, if everyone could remember to reach out to people in their sphere or people that they know in certain organizations who might be willing to volunteer some time yearly for this grant cycle and the rest of our work that we do. That would be amazing. As a note for our membership, Eileen's given her notice that she will be resigning because she'll be leaving the community. At the end of June is when her time with us will cease. So we really enjoyed having you, Eileen, and thank you that you're going to stay on till the summer.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, Eileen.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eileen.
And we welcome Suzanne. Certainly we'd love to have you. So if you have any questions, you can ask any of us after today. So the next agenda item is the Treasury report. We're going to go ahead and go to Liz for that.
I do not have a treasury report for you today. I'm
No
sorry.
problem. And the next thing, I think we have no grant report from Eileen. She mentioned, you want to mention what you're up to at the moment?
Well, I'm closing out the 2022 grantees account. We expanded their period till the end of June. That's why I'm staying till the end of the June. We have probably about, I would say, a dozen grantees who still have no final report in. And for the most part, I never know whether they've finished their project or not until they put their final report in. So I've contacted them all, and I will keep in touch with them until I find them.
Thank you. And Audrey is sending out the letter for the current cycle, which hadn't gone out yet. So if you're a member of the public and you've received a grant from us and you got the automated message from the state, we'll be sending out letters, I think, within the past 48 to 24 hours from Audrey with details on what you need to do.
Yeah, and all further correspondence will be through fitchburg.mcc@gmail.com, so look out for that, and yeah.
Thank you for helping with that. We're going to hold on the minutes till AJ, our secretary, gets here so he can keep track of the notes that we make. And I'm going to move right on to our bylaws. So in front of you guys, there is a file. I hope everybody got the file.
This one?
It says bylaws, yep. So you may not remember, but we had a meeting quite some time ago where we actually already voted on Article number 1 and Article number 2, which brings us to Article number 3. So I'm going to read the whole thing, and then if we have any, if anybody wants to make a motion afterward, then we can discuss it. So that's the cycle. I'll read it. Somebody should make a motion so that we can discuss it or approve it. So Article number 3 is membership. It says each council must annually elect a chair, secretary, and treasurer. To preserve continuity of operations, the terms of individual council members should be staggered. That is, there should never be 100% turnover of members in a single year. Staggering appointments is beneficial so that the council will always have some experienced members each year. Local councils may also elect to designate former officers or members as non-voting ex officio council members. State regulations do not require that LCC members live in the town on whose council they serve. Term limits. An LCC volunteer may serve 2 consecutive 3-year terms. Some members decide that they want to keep participating on their council after volunteering for 6 years. These LCC members can continue to serve on their council as long as they take a year off after their second term. No member may serve more than 6 years in a row. So this is, actually, I'll continue. There's more. Elections. The LCC must elect or re-elect officers on an annual basis, and each council is required to have a chairperson. The chairperson runs LCC meetings and is usually the main contact between the local government and the council. Elections will be held at the last meeting of each calendar year to be taken into effect as January 1 of the following year. New members. Nominations for new members shall be accepted at a frequency that supports the potential appointments to be staggered so as to maintain continuity of council services. A written petition addressed to the mayor with the nominee's bio and a brief synopsis of their qualifications or assets must be submitted to the council for review by all members, and if so, voted by the council. Submitted for nomination to the mayor's office. All members of the council must be residents of Fitchburg, Mass., working artists in the city of Fitchburg, or active members of related groups that provide a direct benefit to the city of Fitchburg. After the nominee's information has been reviewed by the council and all council members are in agreement, the chair of the council will deliver the council's recommendation to the mayor of the city for consideration. Training. All new LCC members are required to complete LCC basic training within 3 months of their appointment. Successful completion of this course fulfills that requirement. New members are required to complete the online MCC training. That's Massachusetts Cultural Council. So that was a lot. That was Article number 3. That was on membership. So can we entertain a motion to discuss this one?
I motion that we accept Article 3 as written.
Thank you, Eileen. So we have a motion from Eileen. Anybody want a second?
I'll second.
And we have a second from Shara. Anyone speaking to the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. So Article 3 passes, is approved as written. All right, so we're going to go to number 4. This is officers. The required officers of the Fitchburg Cultural Council shall be chair, treasurer, and secretary. New positions may be generated as needed upon consideration of the entire council. The chair/co-chair will coordinate and set dates for meetings, will generate the agenda for each meeting and circulate the agenda to each member at least 48 hours before the scheduled meeting, will confer with and maintain a dialogue with Massachusetts Cultural Council regarding all activities and business matters related to the City of Fitchburg Cultural Council, shall be responsible for the coordination of the end-of-the-year reports to the Massachusetts Cultural Council. The chair runs LCC meetings and is usually the main contact between the local government and the council. The secretary/co-chair will post the minutes online, bring copies of the previous council's session minutes to each meeting to be read and accepted. The secretary will maintain a list of all active members and their starting date, their training status, their projected end date, and all of their relevant contact information. The treasurer/co-treasurer will maintain an ongoing list of grant awards and requests for reimbursements and will work with the City of Fitchburg to coordinate and keep track of incoming and outgoing funds. They will also be responsible for submitting the end-of-the-year financial report to the council for review and to the Massachusetts Cultural Council after acceptance by the council. And so this was Article number 4 under the officers. Excuse me?
You're going to be the optional ex officio. That's part of it too, isn't it?
Yes. Okay, so the optional ex officio. Double checking something. Will mentor and advise the current leadership team or the council as a whole on procedures, legalities, rules, and expectations of the Massachusetts Cultural Council, the City of Fitchburg, and any other expertise and needs of the council. They are a former member of the council, appointed for 1 year as a non-voting member by the current council members, and may be reappointed as needed. They are not included in quorum. So this is under Article number 4 on our bylaws for officers. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I move that the article is passed as written.
Thank you. So we have a motion from Eileen. Anyone want a second?
I will second.
We have a second motion from Liz. Anyone speaking to the motion? Joe?
Regarding the position of ex officio, I believe we need to make an amendment to the job description and that an ex officio member can join the council if they are a former officer of the council. So that would be someone who has served in one of the other positions that we have in the bylaws.
Okay, so that would adjust that to say they were a former,
Instead of a former member of the council, a former officer of the council.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else want to speak to the motion? Eileen, would you like to amend your motion with Joe's addition?
I'm trying to understand, instead of saying a former member of the council, it will be a former officer of the council, or is it a former member or officer of the
It
council?
would be a former officer, and it's actually a Mass Cultural Council designation.
Okay,
That's set by them. I remember at the time that this office was created for this council a few years back, that was a stipulation from our friends at the Mass Cultural Council.
okay, I was just curious, it has to be an officer, it can't be just any, okay, I didn't
Correct.
understand that. All right. Well, I will, I would like to, I think we should approve this motion as revised.
Thank you, Eileen. Anyone want to second the motion?
I'll second it.
And we have a second from Liz. After the amendment, 1 second. All right, anyone speaking to the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. So the motion carries with the one adjustment there. That was Article 4. All right, so we are moving on to Article 5. This is voting. It says a quorum of LCC members is required to vote. A quorum is defined as half of the members of the council plus one. Massachusetts law states that all meetings of local government bodies, including those held by LCCs, must be open to the public. LCCs must file a notice with the city or town at least 48 hours prior to the meeting. Minutes must be taken that record where and when the meeting occurred, who attended, what was discussed, and any action that was taken. The meetings become public record. For more information about open meeting law, see the Appendix A of the LCC program guidelines. So let's entertain a motion for Article number 5 on voting.
Somebody else.
Fair enough.
I'll make that motion.
So we have a motion from Liz. Anyone want to second the motion?
I'll second it.
We have a second motion from Shara. Anyone speaking to the motion?
I just have one question. From the way it looks in these notes, for more information about open meeting law, see Appendix A, it says, it deleted, yeah, never mind. I see that the deletion was something that actually was taken out from there. So, no, I think that's fine. I have
Okay.
nothing. Yeah.
Anybody else speaking to the motion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Article 5 on voting is approved. Let's do Article 6. Article 6, Parliamentary Procedure. Robert's Rules of Order, the latest version shall be the parliamentary reference. Let's entertain a motion on Article 6.
Motion to approve.
Audrey,
Article 6.
thank you. And a second?
Second, Eileen?
A second by Eileen. Thank you very much. Anyone speaking to the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That one is easy, right? All right, number 7, Article 7, amendments. These bylaws may be amended at any meeting of the council. The bylaws should be reviewed annually. This is motion 7. Anyone want to make a motion?
Motion to pass Article 7 as written.
Thank you, Shara. Anyone want to second the motion?
Second.
Eileen seconds it. Anyone speaking to the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We'll do our best to do it yearly. Article number 8 is non-discrimination. The Fitchburg Cultural Council shall not discriminate on the basis of spoken language, economic race, color, religion, creed, gender expression, age, national origin, heritage, or ancestry, disability, marital status, sexual orientation, or military status in any of its activities or operations. These activities include, but are not limited to, hiring and firing of volunteers and vendors and provision of services. We are committed to providing an inclusive and welcoming environment for all members of our council, artists, grantees, volunteers, subcontractors, and vendors. So would anyone like to make a motion on Article number 8?
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Audrey. And a second from AJ. Thank you. Anyone speaking to the motion? All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thanks, everybody. That's our articles. They're done.
Nice work, guys.
Bylaws, yay, updated February. Well, we took a long time with those. All right, so now we're doing more paperwork. Aren't you guys excited about the paperwork? I'm going to go back to the meeting minutes. AJ, we waited for you. So we're happy you made it. So AJ wanted to make sure that we had, all of these need to be filed. So we have a lot to go through here. And we're going to do it one by one because I know there are some edits coming. So I think we will.
Your edits that you went through, this afternoon.
Excellent, but I don't think we have.
You don't have that.
But lucky for you, I do. So here they are.
Oh, so we need new files.
So take all those minutes that you were just given and just put them off to the side.
I told you AJ would print them.
All right.
Do you realize how many trees we used today?
But
maybe
we're making progress.
Yeah. It's easier than me, like.
Just hand it down. Keep on handing it.
Yeah.
down.
All right.
Keep on
I'm
moving
just,
it.
all right.
Thank you for doing this, AJ.
Yeah, thank you. It's like cake.
I do. And then I think,
November
What?
15th.
All of those go away, because
One more?
all of these
Yeah, one
go
more.
away.
all right, here's the 15th
So we don't
of
have to
November.
vote on
Hey,
it.
that seems like so long ago.
I know.
All right. Do we need a minute to read them? We probably do.
Yeah, I think so.
So we're working on the Tuesday, November 15th Idea Lab grant meeting. I like these minutes. They're very organized.
Thanks, Audrey. Going through.
No, I love it. And our last secretary also did an awesome job. All right, so this is, again, our minutes from Tuesday, November 15th. Would anybody like to make a motion to discuss them?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from November 15th, 2022.
I will second that.
Okay, so we have a motion from Audrey to accept the minutes as written. We have a second from Liz. Anyone speaking to the motion?
I'll just say for all of these minutes for today, I went through and double-checked all the application numbers and the votings to make sure that it matched our other spreadsheet. And if AJ has approved all of those suggestions, then those should be accurate, in my opinion.
Thank you, Audrey. Anybody else speaking to the motion? Nope. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
November 15th can be filed. Thank you, AJ. What's next?
December 5th.
Oh, this is one of the bigger ones.
Yeah, I didn't make too many friends this afternoon.
Three, one more.
Okay, Monday, December 5th. This was another grant meeting. Do you guys need a few minutes?
Looks like it's only grants.
Yeah. I'll take a motion when anyone's ready.
I'll make a motion to approve minutes from December 5th. 2022.
I will second the motion.
Thank you. So we have a first motion from Audrey to accept the minutes from Monday, December 5th, stated. A second from Shara. Anyone speaking to the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
So Monday, December 5th is approved, can be filed. Thank you. Which date is next, AJ?
The 12th of December. Like a lifetime ago.
It was, but we had a lot of funds thanks to the Massachusetts Cultural Council, so we got a lot of grants
That's
in.
right.
We had a lot of
You know?
applications, yeah.
So a lot of people are getting funded, or partially funded, which is exciting.
Are we good?
We're good.
We're good? We're good. All right, so the next one, Monday, December 12th. Same thing, this was a grant meeting. We'll take a motion when you guys are ready.
Should I make the motion or wait till everyone's done?
Make a motion. Can I make a motion?
Go for it, AJ.
I'll use the mic.
Make a motion to accept minutes from December 12th, 2022 meeting.
I second it.
A motion from AJ to approve the Monday, December 12th meeting minutes, and a second from, Audrey. Who would like to speak to the motion? Anyone? All in favor?
Aye.
You can file December 12th. Thank you, everybody. We should have one more, right?
We got 3 more. December 19th.
We met a lot
We
in
were
December.
meeting every week.
Well, we did meet every week. Almost. Certainly felt like it.
These were shorter ones, so we're almost done.
We're good.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Motion to approve December 19 minutes, December 19th meeting minutes.
Second.
So we have a motion from AJ to approve the meeting minutes from Monday, December 19th. A second from Eileen. Anyone speaking to the motion? All in favor? And we're filing this 19th. Next.
One pager.
Is it the 10th of January?
The 3rd.
The 3rd.
That was a short meeting.
It's not always like this.
It's a paperwork day.
It is. It's cleaning house.
Motion to approve the meeting minutes from January 3rd.
Speedy. Okay. A motion to approve the
Motion.
Tuesday, January 3rd.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from January 3rd as written.
Thank you. So a motion from AJ, a second from Shara. Anyone speaking to this motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Uno mas.
Go on it.
Audrey, are you capturing all this stuff?
Am I what?
Capturing all
Yeah,
this stuff? You're a hero, you know that? Yeah, I'm talking about too many. Back up the train.
Ooh, look at how short.
Yeah, this was a short meeting. So this is Tuesday, January 10th, meeting minutes. Would anybody like to make a motion on this one?
I make a motion that we pass the minutes as written here for January 10th.
Second.
Thank you. So we have a first motion from Shara, second from Eileen. Anyone speaking to the motion? Did I see a hand? No, that was Liz moving. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. We're up to date.
Okay.
That's great. Okay, so the next thing is the scholarship. I just wanted to mention, I got news today, so just to give a little background, we had $500 a year ago in our account. We asked Enterprise Bank, which was slated in our treasury as scholarship We asked Enterprise Bank to match it. They did last year. So we gave away two $500 scholarships last year. And the Central Massachusetts Women's Caucus for Art were the ones who managed that process for us. I wanted to do it again this year and ask Enterprise Bank to give us funds again, and they did. I got the news this afternoon. They're going to give us another $500. I'm going to try to go match it, and I didn't have time before this meeting. The other parties that I asked did not get back to me before today. So I'm going to see if we can do another amount. So I wanted to ask the council's permission. The Central Women's Caucus for Art group is now the Massachusetts Caucus for Art chapter, and Char is a member. And they have already agreed to manage this process again for us. So I just wanted to ask the council's blessing, or if we'd like to vote on it, I'd be happy to do that. That would be awesome, to go ahead and get this started for this year and engage them to support again.
I motion that we move ahead in that direction and get the Women's Caucus to support, to manage things again and get some more supporters if we can.
Thank you, Eileen. Thank you. So we have a motion from Eileen to let me carry forward with that, and a second from AJ. Anybody speaking to the motion?
I just want to say that I think this is a great program, and being able to do more than 2 scholarships would be awesome. So more power to you for seeking out more sourcing.
Well, I want to get some more. So if anybody knows anybody in the community, Joe?
You stole my thunder. I was actually going to speak to this as well. I think it's really great to find organizations that are willing to match this. This scholarship was something that we haven't done in several years at the Cultural Council level, and I was glad to see that it got resurrected and that we found organizations to match. If we can find more than one organization to match what we have now, we're happy to discuss it and bring it forward. The more students we can help fund their education, the better for all of us. So, yeah, thanks for doing the work, Tamar.
Yeah, no problem. I need to find some more funds. So if anybody
Cheryl,
knows
thank you for your organization as well.
somebody. So I want to thank Cheryl Goodrow, because she was the contact at Enterprise Bank that gave me word today that we were funded for this year. So thank you, Cheryl. So the next thing is the 2023 calendar. Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't actually do a vote. So we had a first motion by Eileen and a second by AJ. Thanks for all the comments. All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. All right, so the next thing is the calendar for 2023. Audrey and I spoke about this. We just want to engage you guys on a date. So the date that we have in mind, and this is going to be for our priorities meeting, we wanted to get it done a little earlier this year, is, so it's Thursday, June 1st, and this would be for our grant priorities meeting, community
Input meeting.
input meeting. And we're hoping that by our March meeting, we can have the priorities prepared for our meeting, that we can review the questions and then get it out to the public right after that meeting. So then the public would have April and May to get us input digitally, and then we would do a public input meeting on the 1st of June. So I wanted to hear the council's, maybe we could vote on it, and if that date would work for everyone, it would be an after-work event like we've done in the past, and then we'll secure a location. I'm hoping the museum would give us the museum again, or the Alliance, one of the two. Could I have a motion or any comments on that?
I'll make the motion to approve that date for a priorities meeting.
Thank you, Liz.
Second?
Okay, so we have a motion from Liz to approve the date of Thursday, January 1st from Liz, and a second from AJ. Anybody speaking to the motion?
Can I
Liz?
ask a question?
Yeah.
Is this when would we start surveying ahead of this? And then this would be the culmination of we'd continue to survey afterwards? But we would survey before, too. Okay.
So Audrey, you want to talk about this?
Yeah. So usually our public input meeting has been August, the end of August, but we thought that maybe it would be easier to do it before the start of summer, where everyone's doing all sorts of things. We can start working on sending out giving out the survey sooner than last year, or we can make the public input meeting a liftoff event. But then there's all these big community events I know is going to be happening this summer, Civic Days and a pan-cultural event and all those things. So maybe we can table there, and so we can have those surveys there.
Yeah, that was the idea. We do it a little sooner, then we have the whole summer to prepare, pull the reports, pull everything together. Casey did a great job last year. We'll have to do that again this year, and then that way we have it in hand by our August meeting so we can vote on it and be ready for the cycle in the fall. So we kind of wanted to move this back a little bit.
Yep. I support that entirely, too. If we can get the survey finalized as early as possible, we can collect public opinion for the entire year, between now, like if we had it done today, between today and our voting meeting for priorities, we will have collected so much input from the community. It would be awesome. I'd like to do that.
I'm sorry we didn't have it today, Joe. We were hoping for the March meeting, but.
Yeah.
All right, so we voted on the, so all in favor, we have a motion from Liz to accept the date of June 1st, and a second from AJ. Anybody else speaking to the motion? So
I want to say I'm for
Go
it,
ahead.
but
okay,
yeah.
Thanks, Shara. So all in favor?
Aye.
So thank you very much. So I will work on finding a space for us for that. And if you guys can plan to be there, participate if possible, we obviously would appreciate it. All right, so the next agenda item and our last one for the night is the social media. Audrey wants to, has some things she'd likes to do, so give the floor to Audrey.
Yep. So we still haven't posted on social media that we have what our grantees are. So I put together a couple, some graphics that I am pondering about. The one that is like bright, that's solid orange in the background, basically, that has all of the grantees. It's just one graphic. It looks a little bit plain, but it has all the information, and like will be easier in future years to just update that. So there's that, and then also I have a sample of updating our Facebook banner with all the grantees on here. Since this is larger, we only printed out one, so I'll just pass this around. Let's start at aging and go back. And then the last thing is I want to change our Facebook group name. Should we pause?
Well, I think this is the voting part, so while we've got everybody here and their attention, Audrey wants to adjust the name, so she's, I think, written on all of these, has she?
No, you're
You're going to have me read it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can read it, but not everyone has the complete list.
Okay, so she'd like to change the name, and this is to the group, correct?
Yeah,
The
so
Facebook group?
Let me give a clarification. So Facebook has things called Facebook pages, which is like official page usually by an organization, and we have the Fitchburg Cultural Council page, so that whenever we write an official announcement, it says it's from the Fitchburg Cultural Council, so I think that's good. But then we, at one point, we decided that it would be good to create a group out of that, just so that we can further engage the community more. We didn't know what we should call it, so we just called it Fitchburg Cultural Council Group. As it has evolved, it has become more for the community and less about the Fitchburg Cultural Council itself. And I would really love for it to be a place for anyone and everyone to be able to post all the wonderful things that are happening in Fitchburg in general, regardless if it's related to the Cultural Council. And so to encourage that more, I had a couple of different name change suggestions so that more members of the community would feel more comfortable sharing and promoting their programs, and also just having general discussions on arts and culture in Fitchburg. And also, as a clarification, we can still use the Fitchburg Cultural Council page to post on that group for sharing announcements or dates or whatnot.
So currently, the group is called?
Fitchburg Cultural Council group.
And Audrey,
Would like to broaden that, and here's some suggestions. The most popular one, so I did do a poll in the group, but you can take that for what you want. 53% liked arts, culture, and things to do in Fitchburg. 28% liked Fitchburg arts and culture, and 15% liked Fitchburg arts and cultural activities. And then there were a couple ones that were added on later, so the percentage isn't accurate. But arts, culture, and fun in Fitchburg, as well as Fitchburg arts, culture, and events calendar.
so one more time, Audrey, what's the top voted one?
Top one is arts, culture, and things to do in Fitchburg.
So I think we could make a motion, if anybody would like.
I make a motion that we change to the highest priority one, arts, culture, and things to do in Fitchburg.
Anybody want to second the motion?
I'll second it.
So we have a motion from Shara and a second from Eileen, and this is to change the Fitchburg Cultural Council group page title or name to Arts, Culture, and Things to Do in Fitchburg, which was the top voted name. Anyone speaking to the motion?
Yes, I have a question. Will we say it's sponsored by the Fitchburg Cultural Council, or how will the Fitchburg Cultural Council get recognition for this and perhaps bring more people to look at it?
I mean, I'm not sure if we need to. I mean, we are admin. But another question is, when I do time out, is anyone else on the council interested in becoming the administrator? Or does that mean that I will have to be the admin forever, even though I am not on the council? If that's the case, then it's okay if it's, separated from the council. But if the council wants to continue being the admin, then it will say on there, this,
What?
they are administrators, and, Fitchburg Cultural Council page will continue posting frequently about FCC-related things.
All right, if you think, I guess my thought, going off the council, is every opportunity that we have to get our name out there is good. And so, I don't know, I like the language sponsored by the Fitchburg Cultural Council.
Thank you, Eileen. Very thoughtful. Anybody else speaking to the motion? Shara?
I kind of agree with Eileen on that, and I think having, it can be just a footnote somewhere sponsored by Fitchburg Cultural Council. And I want to ask Audrey, what is your time frame? When do you actually time out?
I believe I time out in 2025, so in 2 years.
Okay, that's enough time
That's
to
all.
sort of hand over the reins at some point. Yeah, okay.
Well, on that, so on the subject of that,
That's off topic.
well, I'd like to ask Joe, as from the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance, I know that there's been hesitation to interact with the Fitchburg Cultural Council group because of that confusion of the name that is always gotten, and if having I would suggest maybe if we want to have sponsored by Fitchburg Cultural Council on there, maybe that's in the group description, because that would be really long for the title. Would you find that a hindrance to interact with the group or other? I don't know.
That was a question for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, from my understanding about how Facebook groups work is that the shorter the title or easier to remember of the title, the better, so that folks can find the group and join it. We definitely, if there is a place for description in the group, we definitely should indicate that it is sponsored by the Fitchburg Cultural Council. In addition to that, we can have a pinned post or other regularly posted advertisement for the group within the Fitchburg Cultural Council page, so that it's widely advertised enough that people know that it is sponsored by the Cultural Council.
Audrey?
Joe, as you since you are the president of the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance, like, do you feel like conflicted interacting with the Fitchburg Cultural Council group if it says like sponsored by Fitchburg Cultural Council? Like, does that add to confusion?
I don't think it will add to the confusion. The confusion has been pretty long-standing for many years. And in fact,
It's true.
now I'm the new president of the Cultural Alliance, and that's actually one of the items that the board wants to try to correct. So, so that we can really have our own unique identities. We have the same words in our names, so it's hard for people to understand the differences. But I believe that the board of the Alliance will come to a new identity that still preserves what we already are, but it separates us from the council. And the council may not have a need to make changes to their identity as a result, since it's more government and more difficult to change.
Eileen?
So in other words, you're saying that if we say somewhere, maybe not right up in the title, but somewhere on the page, sponsored by the Fitchburg Cultural Council, it won't interfere with what's going on with the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance is doing. In fact, it may support it.
Yes, correct.
Shara?
So I actually, with all that conversation and the point that Joe made about longer names being harder to remember, maybe Fitchburg Arts and Culture is wide, broad enough to sort of maybe Fitchburg Arts, Culture, and Things to Do. Or, I don't
thought
know.
that was what we agreed on.
Well,
As the title.
The most voted on one was Arts, Culture, and Things to Do in Fitchburg, which kind of separates this group in a way from the Cultural Council, like it could long-term, right? That's kind of the concept. Joe, go ahead.
I will speak in support of the longer name, even though it kind of contradicts what I just said. The Arts, Culture, and Fitchburg Arts and Culture is a good name. One of the this is more of a personal story. One of the hooks for me, and it's actually how I landed here on the Cultural Council many years ago, was that I was looking for things to do in Fitchburg, and had a very hard time finding it. And making an effort like that to put that out there, I believe that there are several others. I know there are several others who have lived here for a long time and don't know how to find out how to do things here. And having a site that actually has the words "things to do in Fitchburg" will be very beneficial.
Liz?
I just want to say I'm not opposed to voting on this, but I honestly don't think we have to vote on this. I feel like Audrey is doing a great job administering this page, and whatever she'd like to do, I support and trust her. So vote on it or not.
I like hearing everyone's feedback.
And I think long-term things do change. I mean, I know here in Fitchburg, I'm on a page that I don't think anyone is monitoring or managing at this point, and it has existed for some time, and I know some of the admins, and it was used periodically for certain things, and then it kind of dies. So as the council will change in the future, there may be people who are interested in social media, and then some who are not, some who use it as a tool, some who don't. So I think whatever change we make now is a step in an interesting direction, and it may be changed. And I think that's okay. So I think voting on it is good. It gets it on the books.
To bounce off of what Joe said, I like it saying things to do in Fitchburg just because it broadens the audience as well, because I don't know if everyone thinks of, when they're trying to find things to do in their town, they're thinking culture necessarily. And they might think that like arts and culture is more for someone who's more involved in that community versus like for the general public. Like civic days is definitely for everybody. You don't have to have like an art degree or anything like that. So I think it might appeal to more people.
Thank you. So we have a motion from Shara to accept the new name, Arts, Culture, Things to Do in Fitchburg, and a second from Eileen. Anybody else speaking to the motion, or all in favor?
aye.
There you go, Audrey. You're welcome. All right, so it is 7:20. We're going to bring this meeting to a close. I'd like to take a motion to adjourn. It's, sorry, 7:20. I have Euro time. I have Euro time. It's 5:20, 17:20.
We went through a time warp there.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn from AJ. Anybody want a second?
From Shara.
A second from Shara. All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
All right.
Right.